Enjoy the journey, not the destination. A lot of us delay our happiness. When I get to this level, when I get my degree, when I get the kids, when I get married, I'm going to be happy. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the whole step, the whole process. Every day that you get up to strive for whatever it is you're after. You know, I'm a goal-oriented guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you don't celebrate when you get to the finish line. Celebrate all along the way. Celebrate all along the way.
Yeah, man.
Do the right thing. Because if you do the right thing, the money will follow. Try new things, even if you are old. When I became CEO of Toyota 10 years ago, I was told by one of my mentors that I couldn't expect to be taken seriously by our engineers unless I really knew how to drive at the highest level. So at the age of 52, I took on the challenge of training to become a master driver. Not just so I could drive a race car, which I do, much to my father's dismay, but so I could communicate how I think our cars should drive with our engineers. The point is, you've always got to be learning something new, no matter how old you are. Never give up being a student, because being a student is the best job you will ever have.
See, when you question a belief, you don't believe it. That's why in religion you may not question the priest or the abbot or the imam. You're not allowed to do that because we understand when you question a belief, you begin to doubt it. That's why people who are deeply religious never question it. I know God exists. How do you know? I just know. When you question a belief, like when you see your children, my little girl saying, Mummy, but how does Father Christmas get down there? How does the reindeer get down the chimney? They're that big and the chimney's that big. And how can you get all around the world in one night? And they're beginning to doubt, which is a great thing. So if you question a belief, you introduce doubt. And that's what a great therapist does. It says, really? Are you always a failure? Do you really think that everything you touch fails? Do you really believe there's no one in the world that can love you? So when you start getting people to question beliefs, you open up a little glimmer of, oh, right, yeah, that doesn't have to be true, and it doesn't have to be true for me, and that's why it's important.
And change is really, really hard, right? There's that Jacob M. Broad quote, consider how hard it is to change yourself and you realize how foolish it is to think you can change other people. It's hard to change ourselves, so expecting that somebody else is going to change, especially when they're not even motivated to, especially when they're not even committed to that change, is fallacy.
When people tell me I sacrificed so much, I lived in my car, I said, dude, you did not sacrifice a thing. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, you've invested in yourself. That's all that is. You don't have a nice car because you're investing in yourself. You don't have a nice place to live because you're investing in yourself. When I started out of law school, right, completely broke, $100,000 in debt, graduating law school, taking a risk in 1992 in the internet, and I got a per diem from a big company, and it was $25 a day. I ate peanut butter and jelly every single day, so I can save $175 a week, $700 a month, tax-free, because for expenses, right? So I could make double the payments on my law loans to get rid of the debt faster so I could buy my mom a house and a car, right? I wasn't sacrificing anything by eating peanut butter and jelly. I was investing in myself so that someday I could make even more money and buy that house and that car for my mom.
Bullies don't feel enough. It isn't enough to work with a bullied child. You must work with the kid who's doing the bullying. What's going on with them? Nobody says, oh, my life is so great, so wonderful. Who can I bully today? I'm having a great time. I think I'll go off and troll somebody. So we know that the not enoughness is the core of so many of our beliefs. But since the mind doesn't know or care what you're saying, if you switch I'm not enough to I am enough, the shift isn't subtle, it's profound. Found in my experience, it's only my experience, that the major cause of depression are a couple of things. One are harsh, hurtful, critical words that we say to ourselves on a regular basis. That is guaranteed to make you depressed. The second is being disconnected, and we have an epidemic of disconnection because everyone is on their phone and their screen. We worked from home in COVID. Some of us are still doing that. We go to the store and we do a self-checkout. We go to the bank and we check out with a machine. So we are becoming disconnected, and human beings are wired for connection, not disconnection. And the other thing I find is a massive cause of depression is failing to follow your heart's desire, doing something because, well, the family expect it, the pay is good, it's a solid job. So those three things, I think, are the massive cause of depression.
But money doesn't buy love, it just rents it. That's the second thing I learned when I got married.
Leadership used to be about muscle. Today it's about brain, but moving forward it'll be about heart. What we know is what you will not replace, no matter how great the algorithm is. You won't replace what makes us uniquely human, which is courage, connection, and empathy.
If you notice, I haven't had a car in 7 years, same watch for 12 years. I don't buy stuff. So the money I'm making is literally just to invest. So I wanted to make a charity that had a very simple cause and effect. We make backpacks for the homeless with 150 items inside. It's a 0% charity, meaning I cover all overhead, all events, all staff, all everything. There's not a dollar goes to that. Outside of a few charity events a year, I just donate it myself every single year because to me, it's my passion project. And what I really want is people to replicate me. I don't need you to donate to me and my charity. You can go make backpacks for the homeless. You don't need me for that. I want people to do this in El Salvador, Chicago, Atlanta, Boston, everywhere in the world.
You started questioning what you look like and what you do and ultimately who you are. And that's how your connection to your truest self gets blocked. That's why you stopped accepting yourself. It's why you started criticizing yourself. It's why you stand in front of a mirror and pick yourself apart because your mom or dad used to do it to you. For our daughter or anyone who struggles with their appearance, you got to start to reverse this. You got to learn how to appreciate the parts of yourself right now. You got to stop trashing yourself. If you are pulling on a pair of jeans and beating yourself up and trashing yourself because they're tough to pull on, just dump the jeans in the trash, please. Because when you criticize yourself and you beat yourself up, you're treating yourself the way I treated our son. The secret to life is actually the opposite. Be yourself. Be yourself. Let the world fit into who you are. Be yourself. It's more important that you be yourself and like yourself than anything else, everybody. And we've all bought into this bull our whole life because people taught you that this is how the world works. This is the lesson I didn't mean to teach our son, that it's better to fit in than be yourself, that I'll like you and love you if the version of you is the one that I like and love. Ugh, I hate that I did this. And kids, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. And I'm sure your parents, if you're not my kids that are watching this, didn't mean to do it either. They didn't know any better. This is how their parents raised them. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is what's so, everybody.
Perseverance isn't just about not giving up. It's about knowing that in the face of failure, fear, doubt, or adversity, that the only thing that determines your outcome is what you believe to be true about yourself. If you know it's for you, the whole universe will conspire in order for you to achieve it.
I love no's. First time I got rejected by a girl, right? First no, I'm like, what if I'm only 25 no's away from getting my dream girl? So I got the second rejection. Instead of being bummed out thinking nobody likes me, I'm thinking I got 23 more. I was excited about getting the no's. Most guys would have quit after 24 no's. I got rejected for the 24th straight time. My best friend's like, dude, why are you so excited? I'm like, I'm almost there. But that's true. The universe works that way. Every no you get, you're just that much closer. You're not farther away. It's just perspective. What is perspective? That's my reality. I just get excited about the no's. And I end up with the best wife, the best houses, the best job. And guess what? Tons of no's to get all of them.
A quote that I read one day and it really stuck with me, and it kind of speaks to what you're saying there, which is like it's forgiveness, but I guess acceptance as well is letting a prisoner go and realizing that you were the prisoner the whole time.
Whatever you mismanage, you will lose.
That is powerful.
That's why management is so important in this process.
Whatever you do not manage, you lose.
In other words, God will never give you what you pray for. He will only give you what you can manage. You pray for a new house, and God's looking at the apartment that's unkept. So he only gives you what you've proven you could manage. If you mismanage your body, you lose it. If you mismanage your marriage, you lose it. If you mismanage your children, you lose them. If you mismanage your money, it goes away. When you mismanage anything, you lose it. And so in crisis is a result of mismanagement. And the way you correct a crisis is management. Because if people don't learn to manage, they will keep losing what they receive.
I got a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 9-year-old son. My favorite piece of advice that I can give them is show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
That's when a person begins to see those synchronicities, those opportunities, those coincidences that begin to happen in their lives.
I see you as someone that is reconciling all of these interferences, and I was hoping that maybe you could share some of the research and reconciliation that you've been able to do between the mind, the body, and the soul.
Our research shows that you can make your brain work better in 4 days if you understood a formula on how to do that. What it does is causes the brain to get more creative and more intentional. You can train train a person actually to create elevated emotions and sustain those elevated states for an extended period of time. And the more they live in that emotional state of the future before it happens, the less they look for it, because why would they look for it if it feels like it's already happened? And so when you combine that clear intention with an elevated emotion, you begin to produce a change in your energy, a change in your field.
Is that everyone gets a seat at the table. Why is that so important to you, Glenn?
There was a season of my life where I was homeless, and the worst part of homelessness is not that you don't have any money or there's no roof over your head, but ultimately you become invisible. People won't make eye contact with you. They look above you, to the left of you, to the right of you, below you, but they won't look at you. And so now that I've been gifted and blessed with an opportunity to be seen and to be heard, I feel like it's really important to be able to give everybody a seat at the table so they can feel seen, heard, and significant as well.
The danger of low expectations. I would rather aim for the stars and not hit them than to not aim at all. I would rather go after it and not get it than not go after it at all. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. I don't want to live with the idea, wonder what would have happened had I done more with my life. I'm going to go for it, come hell or high water. I'm going after my destiny.